February 2020 Planetary Transits for Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Capricorn on the ascendant, Eastern Standard Time, New York. We begin February 1st, 2020 with 3 planets in Capricorn in the first house sector. Jupiter at 13 degrees, Saturn at 25 degrees, and Pluto at 23 degrees of Capricorn. The Sun is placed in the second house at 11 degrees of Aquarius, along with the planet Mercury at 26 degrees. In the 12th house, we have the planet Mars at 19 degrees of Sagittarius. Venus is placed at 22 degrees of Pisces in the third house sector, along with the planet Neptune at 17 degrees. Uranus is at 2 degrees of Taurus in the fifth house, in conjunction with the Moon, also at 2 degrees. On February 16th, the planet Mercury will turn retrograde at 12 degrees of Pisces, 53 minutes. Overview. February of 2020 is characterized by a predominance of planetary sextile aspects in space, specifically the 60-degree angle. This harmonious energy favors all levels of communication and relationships with those in your day-to-day environment. If you work to improve those relationships, new opportunities may be presented to you. On February 1st or 2nd, depending on your location, Venus sextile Pluto between houses 3 and 1 could bring news from a sibling or relative, or a deep heart-to-heart talk that clears up any misunderstandings between you. February 3rd brings a Venus sextile Saturn energy between houses 3 and 1, favoring business relationships. With the third house of communication and the first house of personal concerns being harmoniously activated over the first 3 days of February, communicating effectively and making an impression on others is favored and will yield results in your business. On February 3rd, the planet Mercury moves into Pisces and the third house sector. Mercury sextile Uranus on February 5th between houses 3 and 5 favors creative writing, advertising, or making a presentation that shares new ideas and innovative solutions to problems. Your creative juices are greatly stimulated today, and with the fifth house of love activated, sending a romantic email and requesting a date is also favored. On February 7th, Venus enters the sign of Aries and moves into the fourth house sector. February 9th brings the full moon, 2:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 20 degrees of Leo in opposition to the Sun at 20 degrees of Aquarius, spanning houses 8 and 2, highlighting both personal and joint finances, as well as the difference between what you value in life versus the values of other people. If any conflict arises on February 8th or 9th concerning these issues, the trine from Mars will help to smooth over the tensions, making this an easier full moon to navigate than usual. On February 16th, Mars enters Capricorn and moves into the first house sector. Also, the planet Mercury turns retrograde at 12 degrees of Pisces, 53 minutes in the third house. On February 18th at 11:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Sun enters Pisces and moves into the third house. Jupiter makes a sextile aspect to Neptune on February 20th between houses 1 and 3. This is a spiritual and idealistic influence that can motivate you to help others who are less fortunate. On another level, this energy could bring a relationship opportunity with someone you see on a daily basis. Another manifestation of this beneficial vibration is to draw into your life a spiritual teacher who helps to expand your understanding. Mars trine Uranus on February 21st between houses 1 and 5 is a high energy vibration, excellent for taking a break from the usual routine and doing something different to keep your life interesting and alive. Under Uranus, opportunity arises off the beaten track. On another level, this energy favors planning a romantic date with a lover or going out and having some fun. February 23rd brings the new moon at 4 degrees of Pisces, 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the third house sector, highlighting relationships with relatives and those in your daily environment over the month ahead. Creative writing, new learning, and intense communication is accentuated over the next 4 weeks. This new moon makes a sextile aspect to Mars in the first and Uranus in the fifth, bringing creative stimulation, recreational, and romantic opportunities. Also on February 23rd, under Venus square Jupiter between houses 4 and 1, you may be feeling lazy and just want to stay home and spend time with the family. On another level, Jupiter's tendency to go overboard and be self-indulgent could see you overspending or overeating, and then regretting it later. With a little restraint, this energy can bring an emotional healing, an optimistic frame of mind, and a day of feeling good in the presence of those who care. Sun sextile Mars will be in effect on February 24th between houses 3 and 1. This planetary combination bestows an energetic drive and gives you the ability to get a great deal of work done. Activating your third house of communication, use it to catch up on all paperwork, emails, and phone call. It also brings the opportunity to make a favorable impression on others, since Mars is in the first house and expresses confidence and enthusiasm. February 25th brings Mercury conjunct the Sun in the third house. This energy stimulates your ability to learn and comprehend, excellent for those engaged in writing or studying. On another level, you may find yourself talking to others more than usual today. Under Venus square Pluto on February 28th, between houses 4 and 1, try to avoid power struggles with family members. They may present you with changes that you have no desire to accommodate, or vice versa. You may request changes from them that they are not willing to agree to. Flexibility is required today in all your relationships.